So I was driving to a doctor's appointment this morning, and I was waiting at a red light in the left-hand turn signal aisle, and waiting there, till the cross traffic red lights went on, and our light turned green, and we didn't move. I was about the fourth car in line, and we didn't move. And finally, somebody beeped the horn, and you could see the person first in line sped away, making the left turn, and we all made it through, except perhaps for about two cars behind me. But in any event, it reminded me that distracted driving by people looking at their cell phones is happening more and more all the time. This is not the first time it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of other people. I suspect I've done it once or twice myself in the past. I remember when I first started using cell phones years ago, talking on the phone. Of course, we can do lots of things at the same time. Not true. I missed exits a couple of times, ones that I knew perfectly well because you get involved in the conversation. So in any event, when I got home, I checked with the National Highway Transportation Safety Board, and they had some information that I found quickly on 2021. I'm sure it's gotten worse with more people using cell phones. But 3,500 in the U.S. alone, 3,500 fatalities were due in automobile crashes to distracted drivers. And a good number of those had to do with being distracted on the cell phone. In fact, there was a study done someplace that showed that at 55 miles an hour, if you're doing text or app, you look it down for a couple of seconds, it's like going the length of a football field. So think about that. But in any event, there were about, in the same year, about 350,000 pedestrian injuries due to these distractions. And they say that when people show up, pedestrians show up at having nothing to do with driving, in the emergency rooms, about 20, 30% of them report that they were on their phone when they walked into whatever they walked into or fell down or did whatever they were doing. And we see people walking on the street all the time, looking at their cell phones, highly engaged. Back in the day, now sometimes they have the earplugs in and their phones in their pocket. And back in the day when I was growing up in New York, if you saw somebody walking down the street talking to themselves, apparently talking to themselves, you went on the other side of the street. Now it's a pretty safe bet they're talking on the phone. And I wonder how many people have walked onto train or subway tracks or into poles, telephone poles. And that's sort of like the new 30, 40 years ago, whenever hula hoops came out, there were reports of people showing up at the emergency room because they threw their back out because they were using hula hoops. Now they're walking into telephone poles and traffic intent on their phone. So in any way, my message for today is think about it. Think about how many times you've been ticked off because somebody didn't move their car because they were paying attention or moved into your lane, or how many times you do it. And get off the damn phone. Have a very, very safe day.
For more on Celebrating Act Two, visit our webpage, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and tell your friends. Celebrating Act Two is the user manual for the second half of your life.